Hi there, FemCity girls. I am Violet Ayala, the founder of FemCity and FemCity Girls, and today we have a very special class. I have asked Alyssa Williamson to join us today. She is from our FemCity Global program. She is one of our featured speakers and coaches and writers over at FemCity, and I asked her today to teach a class on intuition. What is intuition? How do you use it to say yes and no? Ways to say no as well. Our intention is to help you navigate not only your young adult years, but also use this information as you become young adults and then adults in the future. So, Alyssa, would you like to share something about your background for our FemCity girls?
Sure. And I'm so excited to be doing this class for you ladies. So I've been a business owner my whole life, and recently in the last couple of years, really started listening to my intuition. And I think all of you notice, like, you'll know what your intuition is, but I was very good at ignoring it until I really started listening to it. So that's why it's so important to me to teach you what it is and to really pay attention to it, because society really teaches us to ignore our own inner feelings and do what it tells us is right. And so I think it is so valuable to have your intuition and to understand it and listen to it and even ask it questions. So that's what we're going to go about today.
Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and get started. And for those that are watching in the library or on social media, I just want to say you can reach out to Alyssa at any time if you have any questions or if you want to get some clarity on something that might be confusing. Feel free to reach out to her. We are here to support you. And that goes for your moms too. So if your mom's watching with you and she has any questions, we are here for all girls and women. All right, Alyssa. So before we get into the advice that you're going to share, I kind of want to get everyone in the same level started because intuition might be a word that many of our FemCity girls have heard, but not really sure what it really is. So what is your definition of intuition?
Okay. So intuition is your knowing at a subconscious level. So your mind is thinking, and that's a conscious level. And then within your body, you have knowledge and wisdom that you don't always like process consciously. You're not thinking about it, but you still know things. So you can walk down like a dark alley and be like, this doesn't feel safe. Or you can go into a place and it's just like, it feels good. It feels nice. And that's sort of what intuition is. It's also called your gut feeling. So often you'll feel it in your gut, in your stomach, like just below your belly button. It's a sense in your stomach. And so what intuition is really that it's like a guidance. You can almost think of it as your higher self speaking to you and connecting to you. So it's like the best version of yourself, the truest version of yourself, knows things at this level that you don't consciously always think about, but it's there to support you and guide you. So everything it is telling you is in a positive light and a positive manner, and you can ask it yes or no.
That's a great definition. Yeah, and it will always advise you into what's your the best decision for you.
Mhm.
Listening to you share that, Alyssa, I'm thinking back about moments in my life where I had that kind of tummy telling me like, oh, I don't know about this, or I don't know about the situation. And every time that's ever happened, it turned out to be correct. And I didn't listen to it. And it got me into like sticky situations. So I
Yes.
love that you shared it goes in your tummy. So whenever you have that tummy kind of like, it's not a rumbling, but it's like kind of like, it just doesn't feel good. There's something there. That's that moment where you need to pause and then reflect to see what's happening there.
That's actually really a great point that I do want to touch on is I didn't realize it at the time, but I think it was anxiety. And so sometimes you can get a sense of anxiety and that's not your intuition. So like as a kid, I would do soccer. And every time before I played soccer, like I would just get this really scared feeling in my body. And then I'd go to soccer and have fun and it was amazing and great. And so it's being able to tell what is your intuition? Is your intuition saying something wrong? Or is it something in your body that you're just afraid of? That like for me, I guess looking back, I just was a homebody and I felt really comfortable at home. And every time I had to leave and go out and do something, it just, I don't know, it didn't make me feel good. So this is where intuition is very personal. It's very much knowing your own body and knowing how to connect to it. So I love, this is actually a tool I love to use called muscle testing that I think would be helpful. So sometimes like you're like, I don't know if this is fear. I don't know if this is my intuition. You can actually do muscle testing. And so this is a really quick thing to do. So you stand up when you do it, you drink, you have water, you drink. Make sure you're hydrated, drink like 8 ounces of water. So facing north. So I'm facing north. Let me stand far back so you can see me. And then you close your eyes and you ask yes or no, like show me yes, show me no. And so show me yes, I lean forward. Show me no, you lean back. If it's not working, you need more water. But this can be a way if you're like, I don't really trust, I don't know what my intuition's telling me. I still have to learn how to use it. You can then be like, should I do this? Yes or no? Should I? So you can ask yes or no questions of your body if you're not quite feeling confident that you know your intuition yet.
I love that exercise.
Yeah, it's so simple, and it's just face north, close your eyes, be well hydrated, and then ask yes or no questions and let your body, it'll either push you forward or backwards.
Okay. I love that. All right. So my next question to you is, so now that we know what intuition is and you've given us a practical way of leveraging it, how does it help us to make decisions? I know you already touched upon that, but I want to dig a little bit deeper in that.
Mm-hmm.
How does it help us make decisions? And my intention in asking you that question is some girls don't understand how they can leverage it in life or with schoolwork.
Yeah. The best way, so there's a couple ways. How does it help us make decisions? The best way is when you're inspired by something, that's your intuition. When you're excited, when you're lighted up, you're suddenly like, oh, I really want to do this. Maybe it's a project you've been putting off and suddenly you're inspired. Or maybe it's just out of the blue, a new idea that you're like, oh, this is really exciting. That's one way that your intuition's reaching out to you. When there's inspiration and excitement.
I love that.
That is a great way. If you can, do it. Like you're going to be inspired and excited. But when you're in that creative state or that flow state from listening to your intuition, you can then use that positive energy on other activities. So maybe you've been putting something off for a while and suddenly you're inspired to do it. Or maybe you've been putting it off for a while. You get inspired to do something else and you're feeling really good and you're like, now I'm going to do that thing I've been putting off. So positive, really inspired action is a great way to listen to your intuition. And don't use that as an excuse to be like, oh, I'm not feeling like doing my homework, so I'm not going to do it till I'm inspired. Sometimes you have to get into that excited state and then do the next thing, but finding a way to get it to go forward. So that's one way it helps us make decisions. Another way is to actively listen to it. That's where it's almost like it's speaking to you. It's like, okay, I'm just going to tell you what to do. But you can also ask it. You can do the yes and no. It could be things as simple as like, should I have X for breakfast or Y for breakfast? Like intuition is like a muscle. The more you practice and actively ask it questions, should I go left or right when I walk to school? Or like just little things like that. Should I put on this colored shirt or that colored shirt? It's you're building your connection to your intuition by asking these simple questions actively, so that when you come to larger decisions, should I do this? Sometimes it's, as you're getting older, it's like, should I do this for college? Should I do this for a class? You can also ask your intuition that as well. So you can ask deeper questions. And the more you're connected to your intuition, the stronger a response you'll get. So maybe at first you're not really sure, just go with what feels good. It really comes down to going with what feels good.
Okay. Love that. Yeah, because I have a friend of mine who I think always goes where it doesn't feel good, like all the time. And I'm always like, listen to your tummy. And she's like, I don't understand. Like she just literally navigate and pick the worst option.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's just not, she's not connecting to it, but I can see it. All right. So I guess the girls would also want to know, how do we know when to say no when your intuition is kind of calling you? And you touched upon that as well. If it feels good, if it feels right, if you're excited about it. I love how you said inspired action. I had one of those moments today, something I've been procrastinating, just like you said, something I've been procrastinating, didn't want to do. Today, it hit me. Not only did it hit me, but it also hit me with a solution as to what feels good. So I was like, oh yes, finally, that idea came to me. Now I can move forward because now it feels good. So I love that you mentioned that because I didn't know what to call it, but now I know it's inspired action. How do you know when to say no? How do you know your intuition's telling you this is not for you?
Okay. So as you get to know, everyone is different, but you can do the muscle testing, yes or no, but in your body, you can ask. And a no will just feel heavy, and for everyone it's different. It can be heavy versus a yes is very light. So it can be, again, it's not out of fear, which is more, that's like a different subject, but it's more, no, this isn't something I want to do. And you can get a really strong no if it's something that really doesn't suit you, or peer pressure. Peer pressure is a common way that is really hard. You know that you should say no, but you're not. The bravest thing, I guess the way I say it is, the bravest thing you can do is listen to your intuition. And when it says no, honor yourself.
Yeah.
And that takes a lot of work, and that takes a lot of courage, especially if all your friends are saying, oh, but let's go do this. And you can say whatever you need to support that. If you're open, you can say my intuition is saying no, I'm not going to do this. But that's unusual. Some people, it's really hard to say that. So you can also, I'm sure, talk with your parents about a way that you can, if you're in a situation where you don't feel comfortable, talk with your parents about a way that you can approach that. I would say, like, if you plan ahead, okay, there's going to times that happen that I need to say no. My intuition is going to tell me. If you plan ahead, what will happen in this situation? Plan it out with your parents. They're on your team too, because it's often going to be with friends or peers that you just don't feel comfortable. So really the biggest thing to do is have a plan, have an action, and just stand firm in your no if you need to. You don't even have to have an explanation. Just say, no, I don't want to do that. Yeah. And that is a perfectly okay thing to say, and stand in your power.
When my 22-year-old was younger, she had like a bullying situation in high school. And we had practiced that. We had practiced saying no and just holding that. So just no, thank you, and holding it there. Because I think a lot of girls and women will say no because this and that, and I really shouldn't, and this. So if you just say no, but thank you, and you just hold it there, it makes it very uncomfortable for the other person. Like just holding it there. So she had one situation where a girl kind of cornered her in school, and she was like the bully. She bullied everyone, which I think bullies were bullied or are bullied. So, my heart goes out to her as well, the one that was bullying my daughter. And Bianca just held it there. She was like, no, and just held it. And it was kind of like, the girl just kind of was like, what do you say with that? And so I love that you said that. Sometimes you don't have to add all the explanations, because it kind of like, not that it weakens your argument, but I think that when you just say no or no, thank you, and you just hold it there, I think there's a lot of power in that as well. It makes other people uncomfortable because they're waiting for you to say something when you don't. It's just, no one likes that awkward pause.
Mm-hmm. That's almost like, sometimes it can sound like, if you're not sure and you're like, no, because it sounds like an excuse, and then they can try and overcome it. If you just say no, you just stand in your power. And that's the strongest thing you can do, is just, if I could give you one piece of advice, it's just learn to connect to your intuition and just trust yourself. And if we have time, I'd love to do like just a quick little meditation on how to.
Yeah. One more thing I was going to add. I love that you mentioned this. And I just want to bring it out a little bit. When someone asks something of you, I think your first reaction is, if it's like the first reaction is no, but then you're like, oh, let me listen and hear more. As soon as you feel that, that's your intuition coming through as well. Because I think sometimes when you hear that and then you give well, let me listen to it. And, oh, okay, maybe, your first, it's almost like when they say, when in doubt, don't. Whenever you have that doubt, just lean on don't, or the no, because that's a really good, clear definition. But yes, lead us into your next advice.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I just want you to, this is going to be just a little meditation that you can come back to just to connect to your intuition. And so I want you to close your eyes. And so your intuition is actually your subconscious. And so subconscious, the way you speak to your subconscious is how you feel emotions in your body. And so to get connected to your body, you just need to take slow, deep breaths. So my favorite is called box breath. And so you're going to take 4-second inhale, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, and then hold for 4. So it goes like this. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. And so just repeat that 2 more times on your own, just doing that box breath. And now I just want you to feel as you're sitting in your chair, keep breathing that way, and just notice your body. Like, just let things be. If you've ever done any meditation, this is just getting into your body. It's just doing like a scan and just feeling where the energy is in your body. And as you breathe, if you notice there's stagnant areas of your body, just breathe into that area. Like if your neck's feeling sore, just breathe into your neck. So visualize your neck as you're breathing. And then when you exhale, just breathe out that stagnant energy. And you can take as long as you need to on your own to do this, to just clear the energy in your body. And then as you're feeling your body, almost imagine that all this fresh energy and breath is like a golden light. So you're breathing this golden light into your body and exhaling anything that no longer serves you. Any darkness, any gray, any heaviness. Just feel this golden light all through your body, down to your feet, up to the top of your head. And start collecting that golden light as energy in your heart. So just feeling that, collecting a ball of golden light at your heart. Because the truth of the intuition is you see everything through your heart. So as you're experiencing this energy from your heart space, you can actually look out from this place in your mind's eye and just see things from your heart. And when that feels complete, then drop your focus and energy in mind's eye down to your gut, to where your intuition is. And you can just sit here. And from this place in your intuition, imagine just your happiest dream or inspiration or goal right now. Something that you're really excited about and working towards. And from this place of your intuition and your gut, just know the truth of it. See it playing out. Whether it's something in school or at home, just visualize the picture of it happening. When you have a picture of this, maybe it's getting straight A's, maybe it's being the best in your sport, maybe it's just doing something fun with your family. And then imagine you're in that moment with them. And this is called NLP. And so this locks in this memory to your subconscious. So what does it smell like in this moment? This amazing, fun moment where you're achieving what you've always wanted. Well, what does it sound like? And it could be anything, whatever pops into your mind. What does it feel like, this success? What does it taste like? And then where do you feel it in your body? If this moment of success or excitement or family or peace, where would you feel this if it was an emotion and feeling in your body? And lastly, if it had a color, what color would it be? It could be anything. It could be like bright blue, it could be yellow, any color. And just know, like, wrap this color around your body. Wrap this moment into you. And just know that your intuition is guiding you towards this. And you can just come to this space at any time. Just get back into your body. And you can feel it. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes.
That was beautiful.
And that was a very quick version of it. Usually it's longer. So on your own, like once you get the idea of this, you can spend longer and pause this video as you need to.
I love that. An introduction to meditation as well.
Yeah.
Perfect way to end the class. Thank you so much, Alyssa, for teaching us about intuition, how to know when it's right for us, how to say no when it's not right for us, and then also closing out with a really great, powerful meditation that we can leverage to connect more with our intuition and also help us to guide us into the areas we want to grow in our life. Final advice, anything else you want to add?
And I say this to my other woman all the time, when you feel the most busiest and the most stressed out, that's the best time to calm, take some slow, deep breaths and just get into your body. When you're feeling overwhelmed by emotions, that is your time to say, it is okay for me to stop and take some breaths and connect to my intuition. This is my sign that I'm getting overwhelmed and I need to connect back to my intuition.
Love that. Love it. Thank you so much, Alyssa. I'm so grateful that you're in our program and I get a chance to work with you. And again, for those that want to connect with Alyssa, we're going to go ahead and tag her, make it really easy. Alyssa, your website is pretty easy, correct?
AlyssaWilliamson.com. So you can always reach me on my contact form through there or find me on social media. And I love this. I love talking about intuition and some of the neuroscience behind it to bring it into your life. So I'm always happy to be here and be a resource.
Love it. Okay. Again, it's AlyssaWilliamson.com and you can reach out to her. Thank you so much, Alyssa. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Violet. This has been so much fun.
Likewise. All right. Bye, girls and moms. Bye.